But I'm going to begin the superlatives with what I'm going to call the Drew Brees and Isaac Newton Need an Explanation Award. Now, the first part is a reference to the bounty scandal because Drew Brees said at one point, I need an explanation. And so that kind of became a running thing at PFT. Drew Brees needs an explanation. Isaac Newton also needs an explanation because we need to show that again. I still don't know how this ball did not go through. It defied every law of physics. The apple falls from the tree, and it doesn't land on the ground the way that it should. We need the second shot, the close-up. It hits the inside of the upright, and it looks like it's falling to earth. You can just tell by the way it strikes the bar, it's going through. Watch this. It hits that bar, and it's coming through. But no, it goes down, it hits the crossbar, and bounces the wrong way. Unbelievable optical illusion. Never seen anything like it. Remember last year, it was the Justin Tucker kick against the Lions, I think also in week 4, where it hit the bar and it looked like it bounced backward onto the field, but it actually bounced through and hit the net. Like this, I still, as many times as I see that, and look, they don't understand it. What happened? That kick should have been good. That kick, look, he thought he made it. Oh no. Isn't there a Richard Sherman gift to that effect somewhere? The kick was good. Unbelievable. I still can't process it with my brain. Maybe that says more about my brain. But, and what a difference between 2-2, both teams would have been, but the Saints are 1-3, and the Vikings are 3-1, all because of that one moment.
Yeah, that is a huge moment, and it's just one of those things that you look at and you're like, wait a minute, how did that happen? I remember a while ago, I think this might have been 2007, Phil Dawson hit a field goal off of the back end of the crossbar, and it looked like it was no good because it bounced out. But of course, that is good. And so now in Cleveland, we lovingly refer to that as the Dawson bar. So it's just one of those things, man. You can't really explain football all the time. You can't explain the physics of it.
Myles, explain to us your first superlative of week 4.
I certainly will, Mike. I will go to Las Vegas, and let's call it McDaniel's revenge. Because, of course, Josh McDaniels used to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos, but now he got his first win as the Raiders head coach against the Denver Broncos. And this was a big day for Josh Jacobs, going out there and rushing for 144 yards. He had a career high, and they were able to actually control the game really through the run game. I guess that Josh Jacobs is now out of the doghouse, because it seemed like he was before the season when he's playing almost meaningful snaps in the Hall of Fame game. But I think for the Raiders to get that victory, to get off the snide, now you have the Texans as the only winless team in the NFL. The Raiders aren't completely out of it. They still have a lot of problems, but I think it also shows something about the Denver Broncos too, where they got a lot of things that they got to fix.
Well, and this was just one of those where the Raiders had to have this win at 0-3. Mm-hmm. They had to find a way. And you throw in the McDaniels getting revenge against the Broncos. It just lined up to me. This is one of the few that I felt good about going into the game, that the Raiders would prevail with the win. And the Broncos do have plenty of work to do. They may be the worst 2-2 team ever from the standpoint of the vibe coming off of them, right? They're 2-2. It's like, are they? Yeah. I have to check. Are they 2-2? Yeah, they are 2-2. Boy, it feels like they're 1-3 or 0-4, so they still have some work to do. But the good news is, for all the stuff they've been through, they're still 2-2. Next one for me is the Hacksaw Reynolds Award, and that is a reference to a moment that happened in Super Bowl 16. And yes, it did happen, even though it was more than a decade before Myles was born. There was a goal line stand, and Hacksaw Reynolds had to pee. And he knew he wasn't going to have much time because the 49ers were going to have to punt the ball back to Cincinnati after the goal line stand. So they surrounded him on the sideline, and he relieved himself on the sideline. This is next level, though. This is taking care of business during a game. DK Metcalf, a cart ride. I saw DK Metcalf on a cart. I thought DK Metcalf was injured. All it turns out is DK Metcalf had to poop. So they took him to the locker room via cart. As he tweeted after the game, it was too far to walk to clench. So they rode him to the cart, on the cart to the locker room so he could take care of business. Now that is service, and that is taking care of business in more ways than one.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't have done it. Isn't he at an away field? They shouldn't have done it. He's not injured. Clinch it. Too bad. You know? I don't know. If I'm Dan Campbell, I don't know how happy I am about that, but it's also probably not exactly Dan Campbell's responsibility. Let me go to this next one from the Carolina Panthers. Call it bat 'em down. Baker Mayfield, man, the experiment is not really working there with the Panthers, and he had five batted passes yesterday in that loss to the Arizona Cardinals. And when something like that happens, it's also 2 interceptions. Baker Mayfield is now playing so poorly that Matt Rule is getting questions about potentially turning to Sam Darnold when the quarterback is back from his injury. He's been on IR now for 4 weeks, so he's eligible to come off this week. That tells you everything you need to know about how poorly things are going for Baker Mayfield down there with the Panthers. And I don't think that spells anything good for Matt Rule either, now that the Panthers are 1-3.
We talk about guys making a bet on themselves, and we love it because it's not our money. Baker Mayfield made a huge bet on himself. He shaved his salary by more than $4 million in all this year to get to Carolina, and it is not going well. His numbers were horrible before yesterday. I haven't looked at the full breakdown, but I have the feeling they got worse, not better, based upon the first 4 games of the season. And the whole batted down we got the text chain all day, and the observations were being made about all the passes that were being batted down, and the viewers were noticing it as well, because when I tweeted last night my observation that one of the realities of having a dog is you have to reluctantly surrender your pizza crust to the dog, one of our followers said Baker Mayfield tosses his pizza crust to his dog, they get batted down by the cat. So it's a thing now. And just a matter of time, maybe, before we see Sam Darnold. Hey, look, we got to take a break, but Baker Mayfield is not the kind of guy that's going to accept this regression and whatever it means to his career. Does he become a Mitch Trubisky next year where he signs with a team that then drafts a guy in round 1 and he's the placeholder? Like, who's going to want Baker Mayfield to be their starting quarterback next year? I don't know. Maybe the Buccaneers, if Tom Brady retires and stays retired, because Bruce Arians has kind of had an affinity for him. Maybe the Raiders, if they'd move on from Derek Carr, I don't know why they would. Maybe the Patriots, they kind of like it. But it feels like the sun could be setting on his time as a starter. This is his chance, and he's just not stepping up. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.